This is a solo role-playing channel. On this channel, we talk about solo role-playing. It makes me sad that the nicest people are always getting a talking to. It makes me sad that it's the nice people who always have to go to therapy. It makes me sad that nice people have to sign up for conferences or be sat down and told about the hard facts of the world. Nice people are always being told to stand up for themselves, to stop being taken advantage of, stop trusting people. It's nice people, always nice people, who need to learn the difference between assertive and aggressive, and nice people need to understand that the only reason they're nice is because niceness is a form of inverted rage. It doesn't really matter whether they feel that rage. It's there because somebody told them, usually somebody who's not very nice. But they tell the nice people that they have their best interest in mind, and being nice, they tend to believe them. Nice people all over the world are taking notes in the third row of a Hilton conference center, or they are listening to a podcast or watching a YouTube video about why they keep inviting negativity into their lives. Right now, nice people are learning that the relationships they have are a reenactment, psychodramas of early pain that they endured. They seek these relationships out again and again because the human mind always seeks that which is comfortable and familiar over that which is good. And the person who decided that was true. They decided it was true because they decided it. There's no way to test it, but it's in a book, and when something's printed, that means it's forever. It's not important because these are details, and details get in the way of nice people as they try to break the cycle. If they don't, they'll continue to let the wrong person into their lives. Nice people everywhere need to figure out when they're being genuinely helpful and when they're being codependent. They're taking classes on it right now. In fact, it's their turn. There are nice people all over the world standing in front of a room, and there is a man next to them, and he just said, "Pause," because he's going to step in and ask that nice person with his arms folded in front of his chest, "Nice person, why did you just let this other person speak to you that way?" The nice person will begin to talk, and the person who is not nice will interrupt them and tell them that they need to stop making excuses, and the nice person will explain that they were just answering their question, and the not nice person will turn to the class and say, does everybody see here the strategies that the nice person uses to avoid the simple truth that they are afraid? But of course they are afraid. Everyone is afraid because, well, there's a thing that happens at the end of life, comes for us all, and it's scary, it's oblivion. We don't get to play anymore. We don't know what happens next. We maybe don't even know the point of it all. But that doesn't stop the mean person with their arms folded. They turn back to the nice people and they say, "Do you understand?" And the nice person will say, "Sorry, yes." And the teacher, again, not very nice, will tell them to stop saying sorry. They will turn back to the class and say, "That is what nice people do. Do you see how they let others walk all over them?" They just keep playing the victim. And they need to learn not to be a victim, because there are these other people, these not nice people. They're out there and they're not going to stop. They are looking for victims. They need victims. They need them so that they can feed their narcissistic supply, or that they can avoid their own childhood trauma, or maybe they're an antisocial sociopath and they've never felt anything at all. But why is it that they always feel the need to take advantage of nice people? They say without that nice person, that mean person wouldn't be able to feel the way they want to feel. And it's important that we do not let the not nice people feel how they want to feel. And it is important that the nice person not feel the way they want to feel. This is a solo role-playing channel. I talk about solo role-playing. You see, nice people are happy at some point, but they give it away. They give it away too easily, too early. It was early that they were taught that happiness they hold is happiness they have taken greedily from another. They've taken happiness from somebody, and they learned that that somebody was supposed to have it instead of them, more than them. They deserve it. The nice people, they learned that they don't deserve it. It's good to stand up for yourself and know your boundaries. It's good to call somebody out when they don't appreciate you. But sometimes I do wonder, where are all the classes and workshops and videos and podcasts for the assholes? This is a solo role-playing channel. I talk about playing a role. When do the assholes get their scene paused so that the teacher, a nice person, can ask them nicely, "Why did you say that? Why did you just belittle that person?" And they'll say, "'Cause they're nice, they deserved it." And the nice person will say, "No, they didn't. They didn't do that. That's just what you wanted to do. You just belittled them to feel better for yourself. You just made them feel small so that they were easier to step on." It's pretty hard to think of a class like that, isn't it? I mean, don't you just think it's a little strange? Don't you think it's maybe something we should be talking about? That the world spends more time teaching nice people to be mean than teaching mean people to be nice? That they shouldn't be doing the stuff that they're doing? I just think it's weird. I think it's weird how much we yell at sheep for being so appetizing to wolves. All right, in this segment, I'm going to take some games that are, most of them are new or newer. I've had them for a while. You can't see it, but there's a table next to where I record here that I keep games that are like, oh, these games I'm going to do a video on soon. But especially because I've been writing Outer Darkness, and also because I get too many games. They have languished. So this next segment will involve me reading through those games, each of them for 5 minutes. I will put it on like 5 to 10 times speed. So for you, my reading time will only be probably about 20 seconds, and then afterwards, I'll let you know what I found out in that time, because it's about damn time I invested at least 5 minutes into each of these. So I'll just give like a little bit of an introduction for each and then get into it. First up, we have Swyvers. This is Malsonian Arts Council, who does Troika. It's Luke Gearing and David Hoskins. Luke Gearing is one of the best. The inside is printed on kind of flimsy paper. The whole thing is very minimalist, but I really, really like the art. I really like the idea of it. It is a serious, serious commitment to being a game about bastards. The inside is clean in terms of its presentation. It has tons of great tables, and I really, really want to solo it because a lot of it is just setting. And it also has this magic system out of nowhere at the end that uses playing cards. And nothing else really like uses that. And maybe playing cards, maybe like, yeah. So, all right, I'm going to finally give it a go, and I'm going to just wait till the clock here says 2:18, so I will pause it and then unpause it when it says 2:18, just so that we're on a number.
This is interesting. What technique is Malone using here? Well, he's using what is normally called the shift and slide. He does a slight variation of it called the Mississippi Twist, where he pulls bottom right page, flips, does a read down the left side, and then up the right. And we talked to him before this. He said he was planning on doing that with every page, but he said we'll see what happens. He's known for employing a bunch of different techniques, so we'll see what he does with these future books. Looks pretty standard so far. Jeff Robinson Crusoe.
Okay, yeah, so actually, there's a couple things in here that make me really, really want to play this, and a couple things in here that make it less appealing. Now, usually I say, whatever, change whatever you want. The only, like when you're changing something into solo play, the only thing that kind of messes with the works with that a little bit is like a balance issue. And sometimes with games like Merkborg, like Troika, like Into the Odd, where you have very low stats, intentionally, starting stats, everything's on a sort of a compressed scale. Give you an example. You take like a starting like loadout. The Ratman Exile, a Ratman ejected from their clan. The bounty on your tail is still very appealing. Can attack with claws for d6 damage with a chance of inflicting disease. I guess for me, I just wonder, like, if you feel safe to assign a character at the beginning of the game an attack that will never go beyond D6, either this attack will become irrelevant or this game does not scale. And yet there's parts of this game that do look like it scales, such as the fact that you could like run and manage property. I didn't see advancement, but I'm going to put this in the yes pile. I will be soloing this, and we can start just in time. Star Trek Adventures 2nd Edition starter set. I have the core game coming. It's been coming for months. I never got it, but apparently there's going to be a new solo with this as well. So let's take a look.
Jeffy, take us inside his head. People want to know at home, what is Malone thinking right now as he's going through this starter set? Well, Drummer, thanks for the question. When I was in the league, when I had a starter set, I felt excited. Then I felt, kind of let down. I mean, it's only a few pages. And, oh, hold on.
Yeah, so I was looking for the actual differences here between the 1st edition. I know there is one. I think they streamlined it to the 2D20 system straight up, which is good. And I actually like the Modifius 2D20 system. I think that again, I like any mechanics where there's an intersection between narrative and mechanical. And I feel like the 2D20 allows you to like um it feels very satisfying when you click into place two different skill sets or attribute sets, like, because that's the whole thing. Like, one die has to represent one thing and then another die represents another thing. Boy, Star Trek, they can't really do anything about it, but these every Star Trek book I've ever read is so boring looking. It's just so boring looking. Yeah, the game's pretty fun though. I'm gonna wait probably. Well, I'll see if the core book pulls me in, but I'm gonna wait for the next Captain's Log. It still boggles my mind that they with the last time they did Captain's Log, that they pared down the systems for it as if that was like the thing that needed to be pared down. And they pared down the dice rolling system for it and made it like way less flexible, and then gave you like, which was amazing for the value, but like they gave you like 250 pages of lore on every Star Trek. It was system overload. All right, next we have Rapscallion, swashbuckling role playing game. Yeah, I got this one last week. Actually, it was tough. I think it's, whenever I see playbook, I assume it's Blades or Powered by the Apocalypse. Pirate Borg is like, for me, the best ship game as far as like my speed, complexity, and everything. But let's try it. Oh, I gotta wait.
Jensen, we've been doing this a long time. We know that it's easy to make assumptions about what's happening while you're sitting comfortably at home. What does the field look like? From his eyes, what's he seeing? Well, Malone keeps it pretty close to the vest. He's not he's not much of a talker, but here I can already see that he's kind of getting tired of the PBTA system showing up over and over. The game looks good, but, well, hold on. I think he's about to talk.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. I got it. I mean, it's just it's to a point where, I think that probably has some fun times in it. But in terms of solo play,
Wow, you called it, my friend. You
I
called it. I've been
don't
doing this a
know
long
if
time. I knew,
want another
just by
Powered
the
by
look
the
on his face,
Apocalypse
I
game.
knew.
It's nothing against the system. I actually don't mind. It's just it's the same. It's the same thing with just like different setting or whatever every time, and that's just, to me. I don't. The settings are never like compelling enough. Or at least I should say they're not more compelling than like Blades. And if they're not compelling, and I want like the best mechanical system, then I'll just use Ironsworn Starforge. So, but that said, there are far more reasons than what I just gave to play a game. All right, this is weird. I've had these for a while, and I really need to figure out whether to like put these to bed here, because I've had this for too long. So this is When the Moon Hangs Low, and I don't know. Part of me thinks it looks cool. Part of me thinks it looks a bit cheap. I need to decide, and I'll do it right now. I'm not even gonna wait.
It's almost the holiday and I don't know what to get my sweetie. It's almost the holiday and I don't know what to get my sweetie either. Hello? Who are you? I'm a bird. I come from the dice nest. Say, looks like both of you need a special gift for that special someone. Yeah, we do. Halloween's coming up, and we're twisted, and so we enjoy celebrating romance on Halloween. Yeah, we're twisted. I'm like Harley Quinn, and he's like Joker, and then he's like Two-Face as well. That's great. You heard that DiceNest.com gives 20% off to fans of the Malone channel. And we hadn't heard that. That's great. 20%. Wow, that's like a lot. Yeah, that's like way not too much. That would be ridiculous to say, but just enough. What a great discount. So it's Man Dies Alone.
No, it's not Man Dies Alone.
It's Man Dice Alone. Premium crafted dice. 20% off. Go ahead, look at the top left of the video. Do you see it sparkle? Do you see the way the light flickers off of it? Yeah. That's awesome. Hey, babe. You want to make this a dice anniversary? Yeah, let's do it. No way, I'm not even celebrating. See, I told you. He's like Two-Face. I don't care. I don't care about anything. Except Man Dice Alone for 20% off at DiceNest.com.
Okay. Yeah, so this is a... I mean, I don't know if Forged in the Dark is like sticklers about it like the PBTA, but this is a Forged in the Dark game. I think they should say that. I think that... See, I really, really, really want a witch hunting game. I really want to get into a witch hunting game. There's just something about this game that feels very casual. But like it did, but then as I read like some of these, this is like a whole supplement on the faith, the Imperial faith. Okay, so that adds like a faction. This is the PC's guidebook. It's a success. You roll d6s equal to how many points you have in the skill, and then it's any 6s are successes if you're untrained, 4 or 5s and 6s, and then 4 5s and 6s if you're trained. You can have a knack. This is good. Looks like good chapters. I want to be clear about this because I think it's a weird thing that I just published a game. It's hard for me to talk about other games. Not that I'm being critical, but even when I'm being constructive, I'm always comparing this to myself, and I'm like, I'm not the best artist, and my art in my game is pretty inconsistent, but there is like a pretty definitive style on certain pages, and then a different, like that's a different style altogether. And so I think it like, I want the whole book to be this, because this is really nice. It almost looks like a coloring book, and then you have like these photos. Yeah, I mean, okay, it has contracts, and I think that it also, in the core book, it has 2 pages of solo stuff. I've shown this before, which is, that's better than nothing. But the tables, this is it as far as like random tables. Not terrible. I just don't think it's enough to drum up a solo game, but I'd really, really like to play in like this era. I'm going to put it at not now. I don't think I feel a strong desire to play it now. All right. Now we have 5 leagues from the Borderland. So I've had 5 parsecs from home. This was the sci-fi one. This is the one that played on Me, Myself, and Die. I've always felt like that, the way that Trevor Duvall plays was so like urgent and explosive, and I love that eagerness. Like, it's his eagerness that is inspiring about how he plays, in that it's just like he's like attacking, not necessarily literally attacking the game, but it shows the kind of momentum that you could build up just from having that approach. It's definitely not my approach. I like to sort of let the bread rise a little bit, and not one or the other. But I've always thought about like doing a campaign in this, especially because I have a lot more miniatures now. How awesome is this dude just coming into battle with like a little just gonna time himself how long it takes. But you know, I've had a lot of sci-fi ones. I don't have fantasy. I intentionally bought some fantasy for this 5 Leagues from the Borderland compendium, because this is the fantasy version. Well, 5 Leagues from the Borderlands, the fantasy version. This one has Deep Below as part of it, and apparently this Deep Below has simpler mechanics and is sort of a dungeon delve. Okay, so I want to see if this seems like something that I can focus more on the narrative of it. Let's do it.
He's just put on a clinic. I mean, all day he's been in and out of these books, one after another. Is anyone at the top of their game like this? Oh, absolutely not. He's at the top. He's at the tip top. He's at the tippest top. And, I gotta ask you, man, yeah, I'm sorry to, what's wrong? You seem a little unfocused. You know, I gotta ask you if you and, are you and my wife?
All right, well, I have to stop, but yeah, this looks really fun. And again, just a really good game loop. I'm trying to figure out though, like, if we could squash it down to this level right here, or if we could somehow do Theater of the Mind. There's no way we could do Theater of the Mind and still like play the game. One thing I wish, and I'm not fully certain that it's not here, but this would like, it feels like this would be the perfect motivator. Would it be having like a stronghold, and you know, that you could sort of fix up. Let me know if any of you are familiar with that. But yeah, for some reason, this feels like I want to play this more than this game, even though normally I like sci-fi better. The last two I am not going to read right now, but I'll just show you. Hansen expansion for Mausritter. It's just, how long can we wait until we get another playthrough of it? See right here, owning property. And then Black Hack. I don't know what it is about this game, but it is so... Oh, there's my 12 years bookmark. It is just like so appealing to me. I don't know what it is about this. It just feels so inviting and like so easy to slip into. And yet I've not soloed it. Doesn't it look just so like easy? I don't know how else to say it. It just looks so... All right, so this is interesting. I say I don't know how else to say it. Let's see if I try to say it again. All these generators look great. Yeah, generators are great. Laughing. Half-head, dude. What am I... Oh, come on. Yeah, dude, this looks great. Okay, we got it. Let's move on. Let's move on. Okay, next up we have single player mode, a solo play guide and game master emulator, not for Cyberpunk 2020 here, but in fact for Cyberpunk Red, which I don't think I have. Maybe I do. Anyways, it's all good because this guide here is pretty substantial. It does require the core book to play. And it was, I think it was released like a year ago on PDF. I I can't tell you the full history of it. I know that I took a screen cap of Hollow Ponds, who was the creator of this, and I didn't mean to, but the screen cap I got from his channel, he looks really sad. but but this was oh, I don't think, do I have it? Well, okay, so this video was like 11 months ago. So I think it just got released in print. It's available on print and PDF on drive-through right now, and it looks like it's doing really great. So congratulations, Hollow Ponds, and um, uh, good job getting this out there and getting it for print, and also for this is an R. Talsorian supplement. It's like it's official, so that's fantastic to have the company who is the creator of Cyberpunk behind it. And it's 106 pages, and it has 4 sections. Really 5 though, because at the end are quite a few blank forms pages. The beginning part of it is a sort of narrative overview of solo play, which I think could be very helpful for the beginner solo player. I will say that it is like the fact that the beginning part that has all of this really good stuff for the beginner solo player. And I kept thinking about this while I was reading through this, though, because I think this is a rare case in which I almost think that this single player mode, in some ways, depending on the audience or who picks it up, might be more useful as 2 documents, because the first part of this document talking about here, you want to do these solo things, easy as pie, here's what you do, you just change the way the combat, you tally it this way, you want to do social interactions, you want to decide things that are ambiguous. And then in the second part, here's all these tables, anything you need, anything to fill in any gaps that you're missing. But I just kept thinking, as I do whenever I review a solo supplement, I'm always thinking about what I would have experienced trying to read through it when I first started solo playing. And I think that this supplement is does emphasize that it's great for a new solo player to get going. I mean, it has to have that supposition, because there's a section in it called "What is solo play?" Right? So you start off this document, you say, "Hey, you must be interested in solo play. Well, let's talk about what it is, and how do you resolve things differently in it, and how do you make difficult decisions, and what if you get a dice roll that you don't like?" Right? So like, very good, very important things to address. And I think it's great to do that in a way that they did it in this supplement that's very approachable. However, I think it does set up a bit of a dilemma, which almost made me feel like either they should separate it, or I probably would just not direct it towards beginners. Like, I would say that this is for advanced solo players. There is this idea as you're going through the first half of this book that it's for the new solo player. But I have to say that I think that this solo supplement would probably be pretty confusing to the new solo player. I think that it would be really good for the experienced solo player, and like a dream come true for an experienced solo player who is also experienced with Cyberpunk, because this the tools that are offered both in the tables as well as the blank forms at the end of it that just allow you to track so much stuff. I mean, what it shows is very much a creator of this supplement who has done the work that they need to do in order to know what they need to give the person, right? But I think there is a little bit of like a novice to expert problem, because as I was reading through it, even it's hard to forget. Again, it's hard to remember what it was like before you understood something. But there was a I highlighted it here. There was this paragraph that I was like, okay, it was explaining solo play clocks. Now, as I read this paragraph, just think about what it means. Try to like unravel it. I think it might say a lot about like what your level of development as an RPG player is. How well you understand this. And it's not a knock, like it's not a test. You don't suck if you don't get it. I'm saying that if I read this paragraph 3 years ago, I think I would have really struggled with it. And now I'm like, oh yeah, I get that. Here it is. Solo play clocks allow you to introduce an unknown element to a planned story point. In a standard game, the GM might create a clock to track a scene. They know X event will happen at the bottom of round Y, adding an element of change and chaos to the beat. Beats are like the story steps. Solo play clocks do something similar, but replace the certainty of the GM with an element of randomness. This allows you to create an element of uncertainty beyond your control. Remember, uncertainty is often where the story shines, forcing you to think your way out of interesting situations. Okay. So this is saying if you want to create some stakes, if you want to heighten tension, go ahead and set a clock and put something bad at the end of it, like, something will detonate, somebody will catch you, a warrant will be issued, whatever, and then figure out the triggers for it, so like what advances it, and that way you can create tension. And what I want to say is that as an experienced solo player, that is not only a great system, that is great advice, and it was written really well. And as a new player, I would not know what to do with that. I'd be like, okay, so just think about it like this. All right, new solo player. We got to get some stakes here, right? We got to make it have some. There has to be a little bit of tension, right? And there has to be a little bit of the unexpected. So we want you to go ahead and raise the stakes and make this pretty dramatic. Oh, okay. So you know how to make stuff dramatic, right? Yeah. Like you need to make it. You need to feel like tension. Exactly. So let's just say, like, how could you feel more tension? Something bad should happen. Okay. What do you think bad should happen? Well, I don't know. Is there like, should I don't know yet, right? Right? Is that a test? Are you trying to trick? No. Like, what's the bad thing that can happen? But why would I know the bad thing that would happen if I'm creating the bad thing that would happen? Wouldn't I want to find out what the bad thing is later? No. You want to create it now, and then you want to track your progress towards it, and you want to try to avoid it. But if I avoid it, how do I know what it was, right? These are the kind of things that if you're a person who very much explains something once to people, and if they don't get it, you ask them what their problem is. You're very confused right now because you're a jerk. But people who understand that, like, sometimes things could be very easy for you because not only do you understand all the words, not only do you understand the mechanics, not only do you have iterative examples in your head of that happening, you also understand and are not worried about just like the sentence structure. Even the syntax of that explanation is a little bit tough. Like, I felt like I was tripping over things because I'm going, wait, what? X at Y? Hold on. So, and I think that the issue with this, and I don't want to go too far down the hole here, but I think it's good. So I absolutely do go too far here, and I do it right after I talk about confusing new players, which it's just all. It's not necessary for this video, and it kind of detracts from the fact that this is just a really good supplement. So I'm gonna do a discussion on this stuff in a future video, because I do think it is important. It's important to name when something is beginner friendly, and it's important to be to have like a high sensitivity for that, to make sure that if you say something is beginner friendly, that it's either beginner friendly or it's you name like what kind of beginner it's friendly for, right? Because in this, it's a situation where I think somebody who has either solo played before or has extensive cyberpunk experience, this is going to be like just what the doctor ordered. But if a person is missing one or especially both of those, I think the thing I point out is that it it becomes difficult to know for an early solo player when to switch the role from player to director. And I think that's something that as you develop more skill, you have a sense of that. But not having a sense of that early on is what leads to these paralysis points where somebody's like, whoa, what am I supposed to do? And it's like, well, just come up with what's next. And it's like, but I don't know how to do that. I don't know what I don't know. And it just goes off the rails. Here, listen to this part I'm about to say here. Get a load of this. This is unreal. Studies, if such a thing even exists, which is ludonarrative dissonance. So ludic, ludite, well, not ludite, but ludic is like game. And the ludonarrative dissonance is when... Now, I know that there are some of you sick individuals who right now are writing the comment. I actually would have liked to hear that. I understand, and that's why my channel exists, to get help for all of you. So this discussion right here actually is spawning two videos, because I do have a video where I do want to talk about Menudo, the band, no, ludonarrative dissonance. If you've ever played BioShock, that's like the biggest example of that, where it's like the game narrative says it's about hyper-capitalism and greed and dystopia of objectivist Randian philosophy, and then the actual mechanics of the game completely reward greed and hoarding and so I think that's a really good discussion. It's one of the ways that mechanics and narrative rhyme. And the other thing I want to talk about is cyberpunk. I just I think we have to collectively have like some sort of summit as a culture on it. There has to be something clarifying about the fact that Cyberpunk 2020 happened, and people are still, I guess they moved it up to 2077 now or whatever. But I really think we need to revise this projection, because at this point it's not even dystopian. It's a sort of alternate reality that is, I think, losing touch with its ability to illuminate social phenomena. And so, anyways, I think both of those would be great videos. But for now, I also think maybe we could just, go to the next thing, because the next thing is, man, wait till you see this. Ooh, I'm so excited about it. Hey, but seriously, Holopons, congratulations. This is doing great. It should be doing great. It's clear that you put a lot of work into this. You really know this game, and this is gonna help a lot of people have some awesome solo experiences. I'm interested from those among you in the comments, who is a cyberpunk player? I would love to just like get I know the history of the game, but like, what's the history of it from the player's perspective? I love hearing about changes and how the community reacts to them, and how, in every community that's been around this long, there's something in it where the people are like, I refuse to play it ever since they changed this, or like they changed this and this was the best thing that ever happened, whatever. I'm just kind of curious, but I think it's great. I think it's cool that they're still supporting it. It's available on DriveThruRPG. I'll put the link for it below, and it's available in PDF as well as print. Again, congratulations. And let's talk. In the interest of time, I just kind of set up the area here. The only thing we have left to decide is which of these will be my Jorma. I can be your Jorma, baby. So, oh, I forgot. I have this little jester that I just painted. That's kind of cutie. So you take the Ace of Hearts out of a deck. You take the Ace of Spades out. You deal 23 of the shuffled deck, and then you put the heart card, Ace of Hearts, back in, shuffle it in, put it in a 4x6, and then you're going to put the Ace of Spades like at the entrance point, which I decided is right there. My character's name, I guess I'll just roll. All right, so like, you know what? 5 or less, I'll do Peter, and then if I roll a 6 or more, I'll do Jorma. All right, 26. So my character is Jorma, and let's see here. What do I have to do next? We need a character token, but I don't know Jorma yet. All right. So it says it can be found at the end of the book, which is 57 pages. Wow. And looks like that. All right, here's what it says. You begin the game with 20 blood and can keep track of your blood supply throughout the game on the sheet. You cannot go above 20 blood, and you die if you run out. So why don't we use a nice 20-sided die? I mean, because if you run out of blood, you know what? I like all these, but I think I've been like putting extra pieces of my models on these doors, and I think this is like a good Jorma. So, and for a blood die, oh, I have just the die. Can I tell you guys something? I'm an idiot. Here's the die, 20-sided. It's perfect, except it doesn't have any numbers on it. It just says body parts. This one's actually good. It's one of the Q workshops. Just looking for a red one. So we'll start it at 20 here. That's fun, right? I mean, technically, I could use my mothership tracker. We'll see what feels better. All right. You have magic abilities that you could use to manipulate your dice. Umbral Shift, which is a word that I never thought existed until this game. I used it in my game. That lets you re-roll your die, and Mana Touch that lets you adjust the value of your roll by 1. You begin the game with 1 of each, but you may earn more. More info on how to track this during play is described in the Magic Abilities section on page 10. How to play. After setup, take the following steps described until the game ends. Explorer. Move to an adjacent card and turn it face up to explore. Cards diagonal from you are not adjacent. Encounter. Look at the card's value and suit and find its encounter description in the encounter card catalog. Resolve the encounter. The next sections, Encounter and Moon Rings, describe how you do this. And then Journal. Record a new journal entry to tell the story of the witch. More guidance on that is provided in the journaling section on page 13. That's right. Okay, so I hope that this is not, a blaspheme against the game. But my favorite kind of characters are actually witch hunters. And so I am going to replace Mr. Dorma with the biggest badass in the Imperium of Man, Katarina Greyfax. So, yeah, she's got, basic weapons here. That should take care of any issues she has. And then she'll look at the moon rings, which she may use them, or she might, whoever gives her the moon rings, they'll be like, these moon rings are powerful. They can, and she'll just be like, I'm going to interrupt you. You're not allowed to have moon rings. You are a heretic, and so I'm going to go ahead and execute you. All right, Katarina, let's do this. The section describes how to resolve an encounter. 2 to 6, you have to roll under. 7 to 10, roll over. Jack, Queen, King must roll over 10. Face cards have a value of 10 and represent the 12 moon rings that can be found in the labyrinth. Aces are special cards you will not roll against. Begin the encounter with rolling a d12. As much as I would love to roll one of these Q Workshop dice from Cyberpunk, I just don't know what they say. But I think this is very fitting. I have also from Q Workshop the Cthulhu tentacle dice. I think that works, right? Looks pretty good. You guys hate it when I like do the like agonize over dice. I love dice. All right. So we're rolling a d12. We have a 6. Roll the first d12 and compare the number rolled to the encounter card value. Oh, I see. Well, 7. I was supposed to roll over. I failed. If you fail after the first die roll and end the encounter, lose 1 blood. Second d12, you can roll a second d12 if you decide to. If you succeed now, end the encounter as described previously. If you fail again, you could decide to end the encounter now, or roll a final d12. If you fail after the second die roll and end the encounter, lose 2 blood. I'm rolling again. But this one's not lucky after it came up like that. I need a new d12, and what would be better than one from Dice Nest? All right, maybe I could use one of the Dice Nest ones. I just hope it's not too powerful. Okay, just give me a second, okay? All right, I admit that was a pretty stupid bit, but legitimately the 7 is gone. So I think by default I did beat it. So let's see what happens now. So after you fail the third die roll, lose 2 blood and roll a d12 for an extra penalty. If you succeed, you never pay the penalty of lost blood or rolling for an extra penalty. If you move on to a card you have already explored, i.e. a face-up card, you do not encounter again and do not complete a journal entry. You simply lose 2 blood and begin a new turn. I see. So if you go backwards. Now, so I don't even know what that was. So let's just say that we have a queen. Queen counts as a 10. So I have to roll over a 10. A 1. All right, so we didn't. I'll just lose a blood. But I want to see what the Queen of Spades is. Dang, I would have got a new ring. A pyre of celebration burns in the middle of a vast room. Specters dance and sing around the fire. They welcome you and invite you to join the festivities. A ring can be suspended in the flames. You think of how to retrieve it. The heat from the pyre is suffocating even from across the room. Roll over 10 to succeed. On success, you bear the new ring. It is a simple metal ring that appears to be just forged. It emanates heat and glows a searing yellow. On touch, though, you are not burned. You feel an inviting warmth on your hand. And so essentially, I'm going to be rolling against these challenges. When I get the cards, some of them, if they're not face cards, they're going to give me maybe umbral shifts. They're going to recover blood. They're going to give me a mana touch. And that's pretty much it as far as like what can happen or what you can do. The stuff you see on here is the stuff you see. You're not going to get, as far as I could tell, any new powers or anything like that. But why do I think that this is a good model for a journaling game, besides the reasons I've already listed? Number one, because it is oriented towards a goal that is kinetic. You are constantly moving, all right? In almost any journaling game I've attempted to play, there's a feeling that you are just sitting there thinking, and then the fact that you, like the actual you, is sitting there thinking, the word that comes to mind is doldrums. The second thing is, as you go and you get these rings, they provide you with ritual text, okay? And the idea is at the end, you're going to have 5 lines of ritual text once you have 5 rings, and you'll go to the Ace of Hearts, which is the ritual room, and you will recite these. If you get to, if you already have your 5 rings and haven't found the ritual room, you raise the ire of the blood witch's wrath or something. So, all in all, it's a pretty simple game, and in fact, most of it is a bit more like a card or board game kind of thing. But I think the lesson here that I take away more than anything with the journaling that does happen in this game is that when you don't have to add a lot of information to create a journaling prompt. And in fact, sometimes journaling games are frustrating, not in their vagueness, but in their precision. Okay? I'll give you an example here. All right, I'm not going to actually bring the other journaling game here. I don't want to, put anyone on blast, but compare this one right here. You hear music ahead of you in the labyrinth halls. You eventually find the source. A small group of animals are each playing a different instrument. The music is simple melody, but quite mesmerizing. You come out of a daze after an unknown amount of time and find that the animals are still playing. An instrument has been laid at your feet, perhaps as an offer to join the music. You must continue on, but feel an urge to stay here. Okay? There's no specific prompt. Some of these do have specific prompts. Like if they're higher cards, there's the one that's like, oh, you can ask for wishes of anything you want, etc. This merely presents a scenario. Okay? I just looked at this other game that is sort of an exemplar of journaling games that can be quite frustrating. And the prompt was, you think back to how you recently lost everything. Write how you felt in the moment that you realized your life was falling apart. Damn. I gotta write that's a whole journal entry. That's a whole journal entry. And I've written that journal entry for real. For real, for real. I'm playing a game, man. I want to write about animals giving me a harpsichord or a sousaphone. That's the things that, sometimes stuff that is too on the nose emotionally has the opposite effect. It's you're trying to get through a door, right? And you're battering ramming it down, or you're hitting it with the same door. And so here it's like you're experiencing these things, you're creating this story, and especially in the moments where you feel like something obvious has happened and you journal. Well, of course, this is obvious. And you look back on it later and be like, that was not obvious. I totally made that up. Would I love to see this expanded some more? Sure. I mean, it's a pamphlet game, right? It's a game to have an experience, to go through it. And to be quite honest, $23, 2 hours. I don't know. I mean, the quality of it is very good. Would I have liked a maybe lower quality for a little less price? Yes, but I have a different aesthetic preferences. And so I just think that there's not much that you have to do to make a journaling game feel fun. Because this game, I can play it the way I want to play a journaling game, which is not journaling. I don't want to journal, but I don't mind being given prompts and thinking about it. I am excited for this journaling game that, usually when people reach out to me and they say, hey, would you like to review this journaling game? I go, hey, look, you can send it to me, but I just want you to know. And I'll send them a few videos of mine that I do journaling games. I'm like, just so you know, this is how I feel about it. And every time I get a response, it's like, hey, we just found out that somebody else, thank you so much. But this one, it looks, there's some mechanics there as well that are really interesting. And let me say this, I'm kind of burned out a bit on some of the other solo formats. And so it feels like maybe if we turn our gaze towards journaling games, and rather than kind of saying that's not what I want here, but instead we look at that and say, how can we like uplift this piece uh, of the hobby and start bringing, rather than sort of saying no, journaling, I don't want my game to be a journaling game. And I'm not saying everyone feels that way. It's just that I know there's a segment of the solo gaming population that does. It's like there is something here, right? There is something here about recursive prompts and taking the time to really investigate the surroundings that I think for me, as I'm creating Outer Darkness and the Wound Weft is taking place of that to some extent. The importance of something like that is allowing the player time to incorporate the experience. And I think that's important whatever way you go about it. It doesn't have to be writing paragraphs. So, um, yeah, cool. You also draw the rings on. I forgot to say that. Does anyone know any other cool Carta games? All right, let's move on. So really quick before we go on, I just wanted to do a really quick segment here. If anyone has any thoughts about any of these, I just feel really excited about these games, and I don't know. I have, maybe it's a superstition, maybe it's a ritual. I don't know what it is, but there are sometimes I like can't fully dive into a game before I like share it on the channel. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just like if a game is special to me, then I feel as though it's like something that I should like experience with you for the first time. And one of them, literally, I didn't even take out of the plastic, but the first one's not a full game. It's just the second guidebook for Fallout, the Wanderer's Guide. They now have the Settler's Guide. They have some miniatures on their way as well for Fallout. And yet again, you know, this for how much like mixed reviews the Fallout RPG got when it first came out, it's just hard to think of a game that just has like more stuff in each of the supplements. I mean, these are just like jam packed with everything you want, and probably part of that is that it's a little I suppose easier to port it because, you know, I'm sure that a lot of these things exist on spreadsheets. Who knows? Like maybe the actual video game uses something similar to the stat lines here, although I'm guessing they didn't build their internal stats based on a Modifius 2D20 system. But yeah, this is just like, imagine this is what I want more than I want a bestiary in games. I want like everything I can find while I'm on the overland map. It's got just loot, armor, weapons, junk, and then it also has a bestiary at the end of it, or I guess in the second half of it, as well as like factions, faction information, and the thing that is incredible about not just this game, I'd say this is a lot of Modifius games. They fit a lot without making it feel claustrophobic. And if you compare that to some other game systems, it just feels crowded and it feels tedious. Like, oh man, look at all this. I can't possibly read all this. They just do a great job with this. And yeah, I think me and PJ are going to have to fire up the campaign again and push it forward another one. The second one I have shown on the channel before, but the author was kind enough to send me a final Kickstarter copy of Morkin, the Lords of Midnight solo adventure game, which was an extremely faithful reporting of an old computer game. I don't know if it was like DOS or Windows, but it looks so good. And how nice is this? I mean, just sent with a bunch of stuff too, like character sheets. I think there's, yeah, adventure sheets. Everything looks so great. The map is looking great. You got a blank map as well. And oh, that's right, the ruins and caverns sheet. This looks really good. I loved how this was so it's just like somebody who is extremely effective at making games and knows like what's going to be on the end of a sheet when they start the when they begin it. So if you like games that are sort of procedurally generated, and maybe you're burning out on 2D6 or maybe on 4AD or something, I really want to recommend Morkin. I guess this is maybe the player reference. If just to oh, this is so cool. It's like all that you need to do to keep at your side. Thank you so much, Juan. This is like way too kind. I saw in another video a comment that I don't know why I feel compelled to respond to it right now, but I think this looks awesome, but I do know that some people have a little bit of trouble with the white text on black background. I think it really works well for this. Look at that. Wow, I cannot believe this looks so good. Especially because, I mean, just, comparing it to the, I think I actually still have the fully printed copy that I did the initial playthrough with. Yeah, so I mean, I had this printed out, release version 1.02, and pretty much looked like an MS Word document at that point. I mean, not that it needed to be anything more than that. It was an early release just for like review, but to look at this now with the art, looks sensational. And this is a game that has a very dedicated cult following, and it is somewhere between like a procedurally generated game and a game book, because there are like set events, but it has so many good RPG elements to it that you're going to have you're going to have different branching pathways for you could probably play through this. You could definitely play through it more than once. I bet you could even play more than that. But yeah, this just looks fantastic. So, wow, I love that. Look at it. Looks great. So some stuff here about like adding companions, playing on different maps. That looks great too. Fantastic. So yeah, this is this is now available on DriveThruRPG. I think in PDF. Let's see if their print is available. I'll put the link to it below so you could check that out. And then the final one, this is a purchase. I feel really happy whenever I'm able to make a purchase of a game that the purchase involves only me going, here, let me look at this book. This book looks good. I like it. And I don't even look up any reviews or anything, because it's like I feel like I should occasionally still be able to have the wonderful experience that people that I had for years before I, buying these was like the same level of scrutiny applied to them as purchasing a used RV or something. But this is, boy, I don't even know how to say it. Is it Écryme? Écryme? Or is that, did I just embarrass myself? This is a very popular French role-playing game. Absolutely gorgeous. And I love whatever this is here. I think it's Bioshock sort of thing. The world has long been submerged by an ocean of Écryme, a strange acidic substance that corrodes everything. Humanity managed to survive on the small outcroppings and islands left in its wake. Large cities built vertically to make the most of what little space exists sprang up. After a few hundred years of development driven by impulse, humanity built the traverses, endless gigantic bridges to cross the Écryme Sea and connect to one another, coming together through chance. The conductor's manual is specifically aimed at a game master, for it explains many of the secrets. You'll find a deep dive into the secrets of the world, advice for conductors, GMs, how to create your own places and colorful NPCs, and lunar vandalism. Yeah, I was wondering because this was actually about $10 less than the player's book, which isn't common, or I guess it happens. It's just not as common. So I'm definitely going to give this a read and see if this is something that I would like to pursue. Like I said, when I got home, I read a little bit about it. It is apparently an extremely popular game in France. In France. Let's check it out here. Just do a quick breeze through of it. I don't want to reveal secret to the world. I certainly hope the art is consistent. So it's book 2. It has kind of that larger text that fills up a lot of page. Reminds me of if you've ever seen, well, it's not quite like this. There's a book, Return to the Dark Tower, with mazes, and the text inside is so big and it's kind of jarring. Like it almost makes it feel like there's not much in that book. But I have heard really good things. Oh, this is great. So instead of, I guess this alignment is like phlegmatic, choleric, melancholic, or sanguine. Cool. It doesn't look... I wonder... this is like a type of player's guide, or GM guide, right? Well, let's see. We'll see. Because I was about to say, there are some GM guides that are like really heavy on lore and advisement. Okay, this is definitely some... Wow, this is... I'm going to go ahead and put my foot right in my mouth. Because I was about to say, yeah, this is all lore, but... See, I was hoping for a little bit more of this, but I'll have to read it. So it looks very cool. The cover alone is really nice. Awesome. All right, well, moving on. Bienvenidos. Soy Malone, hombre solo, y quise probar algo diferente hoy. Voy a hablar en español sin usar diccionario ni traductor, tratando de hacerlo lo mejor que pueda. Si hay hispanohablantes mirando, me encantaría saber si pudieran entenderme, si disfrutaran el experimento y si incluso les gustaría verme luchar con una partida en solitario. La idea es que sea divertido, un poco juguetón, pero también informativo. Y hoy todo será sobre Tierras Quebradas, Broken Lands. Uno de los componentes más interesantes del juego son los dilemas morales. Los dioses del mundo de Tierras Quebradas al principio pueden recordar un poco de los del universo de Warhammer. Pero aquí se lleva la idea más lejos de una manera más llamativa. No solo la adoración y la oración fortalecen a cada dios, sino que cuando una persona muere, el culto al que pertenecía decide su destino final, su alma pasa a formar parte del ejército de ese dios. Así, cada elección religiosa no se influye en vida, sino también en la eternidad. Con permiso, perdón si me trabo un poco porque acabo de estar en Italia y en Brasil y con letras como la D o la J, a veces ya ni sé en qué idioma estoy hablando. Especialmente, todas las veces estoy diciendo G en vez de D, no sé. ¿Qué es Tierras Quebradas? voy a abrirlo para mirar. La manera que está construyendo es muy, muy fácil para leer y el arte es fantástico. El uso de color es como eh, eh, cada dibujo es como arte, es increíble. Y también hay muchas herramientas. Ok, voy a hablar de eso. ¿Qué es Tierras Quebradas? Uh, Aventuras entre la ley y el caos es un juego de rol de fantasía oscura, escrito por Carlos Ferrer Peñaranda, sí. Y es disponible en DriveThruRPG. Um, Otra vez es disponible en español y hay un Quick Start Guide en English. El mundo está marcado por la Gran Guerra y el frágil equilibrio entre la ley y el caos se está resquebrajando. Los personajes son héroes o antihéroes que se enfrentan a conspiraciones, cultos, demonios, autómatas, ruinas olvidadas y dilemas morales. Y por esta razón, a veces pienso que este juego es similar a Pendragon. A veces. Y también, si se mira al hoja de carácter, hay muchas habilidades. Um, el juego se inspira en autores de como Michael Moorcock, Jack Vance y Fritz Lieber. También mezcla elementos de ciencias extrañas. Y eso a mí me gusta mucho, terror y realismo social. Y lo interesante es que no se trata solo de aventuras fantásticas, sino de conflictos sobre destino, libertad y poder. So, it's like a dark fantasy game. It's really, really beautifully laid out, really simple to read. It does have a lot of text, but from a solo perspective, just the fact that there's so much lore gives you a lot to pull from. And it's sort of open. It's lore that's not necessarily about like a story. I mean, there's a big thematic story, but it's just about like what's been happening, what are the norms here, and it's hard to think of many games that are just as beautiful looking as this. With it's just so clean. The whole thing looks so good, and there's so many options. And yeah, I was just saying like it's got it. There are some things that seem to be old standards, but there's little twists to them that make them super cool, super interesting. Let me move my camera a little bit. Okay. Es cierto que no soy experto de este juego, pero vamos a hablar de la sistema de juego. Los personajes se definen por tres características: cuerpo, mente, espíritu. Y en el Quick Start hay solo los tres. No sé por qué, pero también hay tres más. Atractivo, fuerza, que se hace con cuerpo más tamaño y tamaño también. Y atributos secundarios, tal vez. Y todos de estos matizan la forma en que cada héroe interactúa con el mundo. Para resolver una acción, el sistema se tira un de 10. No sé cómo decirlo informalmente. Es como se tira un 10 más habilidad. Y intentando alcanzar o superar una dificultad. Un 10 natural explota y permite volver a tirar otra vez. mientras que un 1 produce una complicación, a failure. El éxito se mide en puntos de éxito y superar en más que 10 genera un crítico. El combate, entonces un 10 no es automático critical, pero siempre es éxito. Okay. Y si superar en más que 10, esto genera un crítico. El combate funciona en asaltos con fases. Rápida, normal, lenta. El daño depende del arma, modificadores y puntos de éxito. Los críticos permiten maniobras espectaculares, mientras que las complicaciones generan contratiempos. Y la magia se basa en habilidades, gasta puntos de magia y enfrenta tiradas de espíritu contra el objetivo. Además, existen puntos de destino. ¿Y dónde están en esta hoja? Puntos destino, PD. Sí, para repetir o mejorar tiradas. El otro mano, el narrador, por su parte, maneja puntos de desgracia para reforzar a los PNJ. And that's NPC, by the way. PNJ, persona non jugando, no, is it no or non jugando? PNJ, PNJ. Estos recursos añaden ¿sí? Un nivel estratégico y narrativo al juego. En términos de herramientas y expansiones, en la parte final del libro hay una gran cantidad de herramientas útiles. ¿Cómo así? Sí, es anexos. Sí, anexos. Un listado de equipos y precios, listado de hechizos, personajes auxiliares. That would be like just like random NPCs, I think. Hoja de personaje. Y hay hay un magia que tiene un nombre. En español es bueno, es normal, pero en inglés tengo que buscarlo. Momento, porque esto es muy chistoso. Momento. So I was just saying that there's a spell that I found that in Spanish it's like a normal phrase, something like tumbling rock or something like that. Let me find it. 1 second. Okay, mira, Estela en español, no sé el nombre de este hechizo en español, pero en inglés, Estelle tiene el hechizo, se llama Crack Rock. Antes dije que las tiradas eran solo un de 10 más habilidad, pero para ser precisos, normalmente se suman también las características principales y las habilidades también. Otra mecánica interesante es la colaboración en el juego cuando varios personajes trabajan juntos en una tarea como navegar un barco, curar una herida o combinar conocimientos. Pueden darle al actor principal un bono basado en sus propias puntuaciones de habilidad. There's like a collaboration bonus in this game that you get on action rolls. Esto crea una verdadera sensación de trabajo en equipo en la mesa. Para el juego en solitario, habría que traducir ese espíritu en otro tipo de bono. Quizá un impulso de recurso o de momentum que el jugador pueda activar cuando su personaje encuentre formas ingeniosas de simular apoyo o cuando conecte distintas habilidades de manera narrativa. Y pienso que personaje es la palabra para PC, ¿no? En inglés se llama PC, pero en español no es correcto para decir PC, ¿sí? No sé. Ok, ¿dónde estamos? Las características, resolver, combate, fases, puntos de destino, fortuna, desgracia, las herramientas en el parte final. Sí, consideraciones para juego en solitario. Como mi enfoque es el juego en solitario, vale la pena pensar cómo estas mecánicas podrían adaptarse a una sola persona. Por ejemplo, cómo usar los puntos de destino y fortuna sin narrador. Esto parece como un problema que tenemos en muchos casos, porque aún en Dungeons and Dragons es un mecánico que se llama Fate Point, punto de destino. I mean, es lo mismo. Podrían las pasiones y motivaciones del personaje servir como inspiradores narrativos o para guiar decisiones difíciles. Creo que el sistema tiene mucho potencial para generar historias internas, casi como un diario de personajes posible, pero no me gustan estos diarios, quiero jugar. Me gusta el crunch. Y si tenemos todos estos mecánicos, quiero usarlos. Si alguien de ustedes ya ha probado Tierras Quebradas en solitario o en grupo de mesa, por favor, déjeme un comentario. También me interesa saber si este es un juego popular. No sé. Pienso que sí, porque I was able to find it. Si no, si no es popular, no sé si yo en los Estados Unidos puede buscarlo. También, si hay muchas expansiones. Quiero saber si las expansiones valen la pena y cómo la han vivido en comunidad. Me encantaría escuchar sus experiencias, sugerencias, variaciones. No sé si puedo jugar solo en frente de audiencia porque es difícil para hacerlo en inglés. Entonces, no sé. La comunidad hispana de juegos de rol tiene una riqueza enorme y explorar estos títulos puede abrir nuevas puertas. No, en serio, abre nuevas puertas. Hay muchos juegos que no los conozco porque no tengo acceso, no están distribuyendo. Ok, reflexión final. Sé que esto suena un poco como un informe escolar, pero me emociona la idea de que exista un mundo entero de juegos maravillosos que tal vez nunca conoceríamos. Sí. Por eso pienso que cualquier oportunidad de cruzar la barrera del idioma y compartir estas cosas es algo especial. En resumen, este segmento está dedicado a Tierras Quebradas y después, en inglés, hablaré brevemente del nuevo modo para un jugador de Cyberpunk. Pero por ahora, disfrutemos de este viaje entre la ley y el chaos. Gracias por su tiempo. Yes. What is it? Hi. I'm from. I was sent here from Malone. Malone. He hasn't been here in a long time. Yeah, we're doing a census. We're going around and we're trying to identify. We're trying to identify the pieces that got lost. Well, don't stand out there in the rain. Come on in. Thank you so much. So, oh, thank you. Oh, sure. My wife made it. Oh, wonderful. Where is she? She died 12 years ago. Okay. So thank you for seeing me, and I understand that maybe this was not an expected visit. Nevertheless, we did want to ask a few questions. Well, go ahead and ask. I don't have anything to hide. I don't have anything to do. Well, we have a few questions, but we want to ask one question really more than anything, which is, what do you think happened here? What do I think happened here? Yeah, this area, I'm sorry, sir, what is your name? Now that you say it, I'm a bit embarrassed. I don't remember. Yeah. Actually, every house I've been to here, they don't remember. Oh, it must be the cold going around. Well, the other question still stands. What do you think happened here? Well, if I can't remember my name, I doubt I can. Something happened, though. Can you, just try to guess? I don't know. I don't want him to be mad. It's been years. No, he's the one that ordered this census. He's not gonna be mad. Oh. Okay. Well, if you want my opinion. Well, I like to think that I'm one of his favorites. Maybe that's naive, but a lot of us think that. That you're one of his favorites? Sure. You know, if you really like something, you hold it tight. You don't let it go. But if you really, really love something, you hide it. Don't let anyone see it. You don't let anyone know that it even exists. You think that's what he did with you? I hope so. I mean, that's what I've been telling myself. He's gotta still. I mean, we're part of him. He couldn't. He's not just leaving us here, is he? Well, not anymore, I guess, now that I'm here. This is really good. You said your wife made it? Oh, sure, she did. I can show you it.